Okay, so I am in Norfolk International Airport waiting, but not patiently, waiting to pick up my 14-year-old daughter, which her original flight was diverted back to Philadelphia. She was scheduled to come in at 12:59 today. So I get here, get to the gate, never got a call, and keep in mind we paid an extra $300. Excuse the noise. I tried to take this when nobody was here. We paid an extra $300 because she is a minor. So they charge extra $300 for somebody to accompany them to make sure there's no issues or, you know, she's not taken or anything like that. Well, like I said, I get here thinking, okay, I'm going to get in, get out, get my daughter. Well, I see still a lot of people were sitting out here because it was a flight supposed to leave right after they got in. Still a lot of people sitting in the gate. At this time, people start, lining up, like trying to figure out what's going on. And I'm like, okay, well, it's like 3 minutes, 4 minutes after, so I immediately started panicking whenever that happened because this isn't the first time something like this took place. But that's another story. So I get a text from my daughter saying, well, the plane was shaking real bad and the lights were flickering and things of that nature. And I was real scared. I was crying. So I'm like, I'm thinking because on the board it says arrived, that her flight has arrived. So I'm thinking, okay, I send a text message back and I say, but thank God, prayer works, that you fine. So I'm still like, time goes on, and I'm like, okay, well, why didn't you let me with my baby at? Nobody's getting off the plane, no, because usually it doesn't take that long to depart. I mean, to deboard the plane or whatever. So I'm just looking like, okay. So I'm like, just when I get the text message, they come over the loudspeaker and say, well, due to mechanical issues, the flight had to return back to Philly. Really? So I immediately text my daughter, like, are you still in Philly? And she texts back, yes. So I'm like, I immediately just get upset because I feel like someone should have told me, somebody should have called and reached out to me. And keep in mind, this was at 12:59 when it was scheduled to be here. Well, it was a little after. It was probably about 1:15 at this time. So, I'm pretty sure they could have called back in. So she said pretty much that somebody that pretty much when they went inside the, okay, hold on, let me get this because I'm still upset. But pretty much when I called her, I just went ahead and called and stopped texting her. I'm like, well, what happened? And she was upset. And I said, well, how long did it, were you in flight, en route to get here? She was like, it was a couple of minutes after we took off. So my thing is, you guys probably was back there way before 1:15. I know you was back there way before 1:15. So you took the time to let the airline know or whatever. I don't know, but the bottom line is nobody called me to let me know nothing. So mind you, I had to get in the long line just to try to see what's going on. Waiting until next flight, what's gonna take place. Like, at the end of the day, this is my 14-year-old daughter. So I'm just like livid, but at the end of the day, I was still grateful because it could have went another way. But communication. So they finally say, well, yeah, we're not sure. I get up, finally talk to somebody after I had to wait in line for about a good 30 minutes because so many people was trying to get new flights and they was missing scheduled flights. You know how that go. So get in line and I get no answers basically. So I call her grandma, in Philly, let her know like this is what's going on. Because they didn't call me, they didn't call her dad, they didn't call her grandma. Like nobody had any news of this. The only way that I was able to find out as quick as I did is because my daughter has her own cell phone. Thank God for that. So time still was going on, and they had her just sitting, and I'm like, well, I'm just confused because the chaperone or no one from the airline themselves have called me, and of course, Norfolk doesn't know what's going on in Philly, so it's just a bunch of just waiting. We don't know. Okay, so her grandmother in Philly got on trying to figure out what's going on. Of course, she called over the phone. They gave her one time that my daughter was supposed to be leaving on a new plane. They gave me one time, and so we just I'm not even sure. So I asked here in Norfolk, so they give me a time. Well, yeah, she's supposed to get here. I think that time was supposed to be at 5:32 that she was supposed to get here. So I was like, okay. Well, they board her on another plane. Well, let me back up. When it all took place, originally they was gonna. My daughter said, "Well, they said they're gonna try to fix the plane so we can take off." Immediately, I said, "Well, I tell you what, if they fix that plane, you get off, and I find another way to get you home. Because there's no way you can fix a plane that quick and think and put my baby back on and fly. No, I need y'all to thoroughly inspect this plane." So God answered prayers again, because I sure was praying like, Lord, please don't let them have that simple mind that they think they can just fix it in like a 20-30 minute. This is not a vehicle. Like, we don't have time for that. So she called me back. She texted me back. Well, they put me on another plane, and so I'm like, okay. So I wait and I wait. I finally get a call at 2:00 from a chaperone there or something, and I finally get a call at 2:00 from the chaperone, and I'm like, I said, this is I'm a little confused because this is the first time that anyone from the airline reached out to me in regards to my child. Okay, so she was apologetic, and my daughter is hypoglycemic, so she has to have meals here and there. If not, it becomes it becomes unpretty. So trying to keep my daughter from getting sick and everything. So they was like, well, we'll get a meal voucher, we'll get her some food. Okay. And let me tell you, I get it, things happen, but the way they handle this is just like ridiculous. So we get they get her the voucher or whatever, and the young lady was nice, a little urban, but nice. She was like, she gonna make sure she take care of my baby and things of that nature. So okay, all right. So she said she would call me back. She was gonna be leaving at 2:30. She'll call me back, let me know what was gonna take place. So I was like, okay. She kept her word. She did get my baby a voucher, got her some food. She called me back before her shift was scheduled to be over and all that. So I can't give her props for that. Put my baby on a plane. She calls me. She said, well, I'm on another plane, Mom. It's a bigger plane and this and that. I said, okay, well, I'll see you when you get here. Make sure you pray. I always say that. Lo and behold, she calls me right back probably about 15 minutes. And I'm like, what's wrong? Well, they had to call maintenance. They had to call maintenance. She's like, yeah, they have to call maintenance, so we're not leaving right now. And I don't know what's going on. She was like, well, my phone is only on this, I think it was like 26% or whatever. So I was like, okay, well, just try to keep your phone, so just call or text me and let me know. So sitting there, I'm like, okay. I called her grandma and said, well, this was going on. Now they had her scheduled to come. Well, it was still on the board here in Norfolk that she was supposed to be arriving at 5:32, which was confusing to me, at gate A2. But like I ended up having to go find somebody, and I'm like, well, if my daughter's scheduled to be here at 5:32, how is that going to take place at gate A2? Because they had a Miami flight that was supposed to be leaving at 5:33 from the same gate. So the lady tell me, well, they still have her scheduled at 5:32, and it's still on the same flight. And I said, well, it can't be the same plane because it's a whole nother plane that she's on. So they hadn't updated it on the board. So that was another, like, it's just confusing. So they still tell me this is the same time. So, I'm just like, okay, trying to be, cool, whatever. So my daughter called me back a little while later. Well, they're taking me off the plane. Second plane, second mechanical issue. American Airlines. So I said, are you kidding me? What, why they taking you off the plane? Like, what's going on? Now, mind you, I already looked on the board. I only saw 2 more flights that was coming out of Philly for today. And one that was going to be here 7-something. And then it was a 9-something flight. But that was even going to be delayed. So I said, Tamaja, are you serious? She's like, yeah, Mom. She said, and I don't know what's going on. And she already been crying. She's upset. I'm upset. I'm frustrated. When you can't get to your kids, it's just like nothing is going right. So I was like, well, and I still had to say, well, Lord, I thank you anyway. And I got to thank God because it could have went, the first flight couldn't have made it back. And the second one could have took off. And, who knows what could took place with that. But God saw otherwise. But this is not it's not saying that I'm upset with the fact that the planes were breaking down, because that's life. It's always going to be issues in life that we cannot control. But this airline is worth billions. You have so many staff. They have so many staff. I'm just a little confused on why it took them to 2 o'clock to call me about my daughter initially. Then I got another call after they took her off of the plane. I did get another call, but it was after she told me, and it was probably about 40 minutes after. But they didn't even call and let me know that it was put on another plane. So that was, I don't know. So they called. So they did. The lady did call, and she was like, "Well, she's guaranteed that she's gonna be, on the flight." So I said, "Well, okay." So I come back to the gate, and I did talk to somebody else because I guess they could probably see the frustration in my face because I'm just sitting there like I'm the only one, as you can see, still at the gate since forever. So they actually went and got the manager, and the manager came and he said, he was very nice, and and me, I try not to be nasty to the staff, because it's nothing they can do. It's not their fault as to what took place. And actually, they're here in Norfolk, so they can't really control what's taking place in Philly. So I was not really trying to be nasty with them. And but I did let them know that I'm frustrated. That I'm frustrated. My daughters, it's like you get frustrated when your kids are frustrated. Anybody that you love and care about, especially your kids, when you can't be there for them, it does something to you. And that's how that's where I was at today. Like, I was pretty much almost in tears myself, because knowing how my baby felt, and I couldn't even be there to comfort her. And she said, even when the plane was going through what it was going through with the shaking and everything, nobody comforted her. It was nobody there to say you're gonna be okay, or the actual chaperone. That's what I was like, well, what is it? She was like, I don't know what they were doing. Nobody was there to comfort my child. Like, this is a child. So that had me feeling some type of way. And she was just like, I was so scared. She went into a basic panic attack, which I know that feeling because I suffer from panic attacks. So I know that had to be a horrible feeling. Like, you just feel like your world is over, basically. So She was like, I don't even know what it was. She explained it to me. She never had a panic attack, but she explained to me how she was feeling and what was going on, and it was a panic attack. That was the description of a panic attack. And for nobody not to be there to comfort you, I got a problem with that. Like, I don't know. I don't know what she was doing. I don't know, but that had me upset. It was just a lot of things that just had me upset, and I get it. Like in the moment, like, you know, they have a lot of other things going on, but if I'm paying, me and her dad, we're paying an additional $300 for somebody to take care of our child. I feel like she should be priority to anything because she's underage. She don't know what's going on, scared, and we paying for that service. So, do I feel like, and this is not the first time it's something that she's, basically said, well, I don't understand why y'all pay for it because they don't do nothing. And, I get it. What can they really do? If you're not needed, I get it. It's there for a just in case something. And well, this was a just in case something situation, and they didn't come through. But you took my money. So I will be reaching out to the airline and seeing what's supposed to, take place. And I'll let you guys know the outcome of this, but I'm definitely going to reach out to them and let them know what took place. Like I said, within this time frame from, she was supposed to be at 12:59 in the morning, 12:59 basically p.m., and she's not going to be here. She's supposed to be arriving at 7:23. I had 2 phone calls from the airline. 2 phone calls. Is that acceptable? No. I feel like they should have been calling me every step of the way, telling me, I get it if emergency take place and you, soon as they land, I don't expect them to be calling me saying this and saying that, but you can call and say, well, this took place and we don't know what the next step is, but we wanted to reach out to you and say this was going on. Then at least I would know what took place. I shouldn't have to have heard it over a loudspeaker that my daughter plane had to go get turned back around. So that was crazy, very crazy, and to me unacceptable. So I did end up speaking to the manager here in Norfolk, which, like I said, he explained to me, of course, that they don't know what's going on that end. They can only, go by when it's updated, which I get it, and I told him that I do understand that, and I also do understand that things happen that's out of our control, but communication is where I have a problem. My big problem is nobody communicated to me to let me know what was going on with my child. I had to basically chase people down to get information. That doesn't work for me. So, will my daughter be flying American again? I'm not sure. Because I feel like $300 for the just in case, and when the just in case happen, and it's the results are like non-existence, like the help is like non-existence, that don't work for me. So I don't know. I just wanted to kind of give some people that probably never, flew their kids with a chaperone, what could probably happen. The risk that you still is, everything you do is a risk that you're taking, that, something could happen, and whether or not the chaperone gonna do their job, we don't know. We can't really guarantee, but they will be hearing from me in regards to my child. So like I said, I'm gonna keep you guys posted as to the results once I get home, which it'll be late tonight. Yeah, hopefully we'll get home by 8 o'clock. Oh, and on top of that, I have to pay for parking. So I mentioned that to them, like, who's going to be taking care, which I get it. I don't mind paying for some of it, but I don't feel like I should be responsible for all of the parking. And they just told me, well, that's out of their control, that I have to save the receipt and see if American will refund some of the money or whatever. So we'll see how that go. Excuse me. I don't know. I'm flabbergasted with this situation that took place today. I'll let you guys know the outcome, but it's just weird to have two planes in the same day that your child get on that have mechanical issues. Almost make me not want to put her on a plane at all. I wouldn't be surprised if she wouldn't want to fly anymore. And I couldn't even be mad with her if she didn't want to. Well, we had this issue before. I was telling you, I said something about it a little early in the video, but I think it was last year before last. I think it might have been beginning of last year. She flew out to, she was flying back from Philly, and mechanical issues with that plane, and they took my baby to Richmond. Now, usually she flies into Norfolk, but they had to fly her out to Richmond. And they didn't have any more planes coming out of Richmond. They had to bus my baby back to Norfolk. This is American. So, right now, it ain't looking good it's not looking good for American from my point of view. It's not. We've had, this is the second major experience that we've had with them. The second, this is they gotta do better. They have to do better. And like I said, I get it. Some things happen. But I feel like when it comes to a minor, you have to be a little more meticulous about what you do. You have to have a backup for a backup for a backup, because you got kids, in your hands. You're charging these people all this money, and what are they doing? Why should I have to pay $300 for nothing, basically? And the only reason why I got the initial call today at 2 o'clock is because my daughter's grandmother in Philly called snapping, going off, and telling them, her mom been there. Nobody's telling her nothing. Nobody's called her. They had the audacity to tell her my name. Well, yes, it's Princess Barnes. Yes, why didn't you guys call her then? Evidently you had all the information, but nobody picked up the phone to call me and tell me what was going on with my daughter. So, like I said, I don't want nobody to look at this video and saying, well, some things happen, and, I get it. I know things happen. That's just life. But the line of communication should always be open, especially when you have someone else's child in your hands. Basically, when we let her fly with a chaperone, we trusting that they're going to make sure and do what's best for my child. And if something happens to my child, I'm going to be the first person that they reach out to, or her dad, someone. But they didn't reach out to anybody. We had to chase them down to get some information, and then they finally called me at 2 o'clock. I can't do that. I can't get with that. So I said, I don't know how anybody else will ever feel, or how they feel about it, or if they feel like I'm overreacting, or whatever the case may be. But until it happens to your child, please don't tell me nothing about you overreacting or, these people, they can only do but so much. They getting paid to do a job. Do the job. That's it. So, I took up too much of your time already, but I just had to put this out here so that if somebody's thinking about, putting their child on the plane with a chaperone, ask some detailed questions, make sure, let it be known that you need communication at all times. Let that be known. So, like I said, I'm gonna let you guys know what comes of this, because I'm definitely gonna, once I probably reach out to them tomorrow, because like I'm gonna have to get her and my son, because he's been at home. This little hour trip turned into an all day. I don't watch them close down some of the concession, the little stands out here. They don't lock that down and all that. So I've been here all day. This was a job that I done clocked in, basically waiting to get my baby. But there's no way I was leaving until she get here. So that's what it is. But hopefully she'll be here sooner than later. So y'all take care. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel, go ahead and click that subscribe button. I haven't gotten on the schedule yet as to when I'm going to be posting videos, but as soon as I do, I'm trying to get my schedule together, because I do have a lot going on. I will be letting you guys know. Thank you. And till next time, y'all be blessed.